Hanımefendiler ve beyefendiler, saygıdeğer konuklar, Türkiye Cumhuriyeti İletişim Başkanlığı ev sahipliğinde
Welcome to the second day of Turkish Council Media Forum that is being hosted by the Communication Directorate of Turkey. Hopefully you had a great lunch and you're having a great weekend. Now we have two sessions for you. First one is imagining the future as the Turkic world. We have a video now. You can view the video.
efendim Türk dünyası olarak
As the Turkic world, imagining the future. Now, NTV Foreign News Coordinator Ahmet Yeşe will be moderating our session. Now, I'm going to call our panelists. Dear Serdar Karagöz from Anadolu Agency, from Azerbaijan State News, Chairman Aslan Aslanov, from Kazakhstan Kazinform International News Agency, Chairman Yaldos Nashirali, Professor Dr. Otto Atun from Cyprus Science University, Dean of Engineering, Professor Dr. Vulgar Aliyev from Baku University, Dean of Faculty of Journalism, Nazire Ali Kızı from Kyrgyzstan Medeniyet Takil University, TIL TV Head Editor, hello everybody, welcome. Welcome. Assistant to the Azerbaijan Prime Minister was going to be here, but starting with Fahrettin Altun, we have my colleagues, great representatives of the academy and the youth that is going to actually build the future. Welcome, and welcome to our brothers coming from all around the world, from Turkic countries. Turkic world is very important for myself. Whenever I hear an academic work, study, or a social project, whatever it is, I run to it, and I can't even explain the joy I feel from these projects, and I'm extremely happy and glad to be a part of these kinds of events. And of course, this is going to be leading the way. This is a great start, a great milestone. This meeting is. I think this forum is going to definitely be a start to greater projects. Now, with our 6 guests, we have been thinking about tomorrows, and we want to hug each other and walk together in the future. So we are going to be brainstorming about the future. I feel like I need to do an introductory speech quickly because I think for the last 17 years I've been through all around the Turkic world, and I have also created a Turkic world documentary, and I think I have earned the right to speak a couple of minutes about this. And as Ibn Haldun said famously, I would like to define the soul of this forum, and they are more similar to water than itself. Our common history, our cultural relation make us one instead of being similar. To create a common civilization mentality, these connections have a big importance. And when this Turkish country has been found, it has been a fork in the world, and the 21st century would be the Turkish century. This current potential has not been realized yet, but I think the steps, very important steps, have been taken, and I think the most important one is the Turkic Council. This is going to be having a leading role for our structure that we want to set up among ourselves, and we are many. With the effect of global political situation, everybody is looking to create an international organization. This is not just in Europe, in Asia, in Pacific, in Eurasia, and they started with Shanghai, the five from the Shanghai, and there are newer organizations being formed even in South America, from collaboration for policies and projects to social development. We see that everybody is coming together, and Turkic Council is starting this road to build a better future. Our ancestry, our strong history makes us a lot more advantageous than other organizations, international organizations, than around the world. This is definitely a great start and basis for our common future. Our biggest richness is our hearts and the togetherness we feel in our hearts. It is time to take more solid steps and stronger steps, as I am sure this media forum is going to be a milestone for our collaboration. The mass communication tools that have great effect to everybody on the world, and the social media with audio and visual content. We have to work on these areas, and we have to realize, and we have a lot to do on these areas, and also the global disinformation, fake news, and manipulation is extremely improving, and the digital networks are also in this, and the sides with the fifth power are unfortunately getting beaten up. So to be able to have a global change, we have to collaborate as the Turkic world. We definitely need all of us. The one we see, the most recent one, was in Karabakh. Azerbaijan's righteous movement for Karabakh war, and our communication, we came forward with genuinity and transparency, shows that the victory is not won on the field. We have to win in communication as well. This is a great victory for us, and what we see is if we come together for communication as well, we can explain our righteous cause to the world. And at this point, our guests are going to be talking about what is this responsibility that the media has for this, and we are going to talk about what is our common language that we should have. And before ending my introduction, I would also like to thank, as a member of the Turkish world, for these initiatives and organizations that make this possible. Now I would like to introduce our panelists. Professor Dr. Vulgar Aliyev from Baku State University, the Dean of the Journalism Faculty. Thank you very much for coming. Aslan Aslanov, Azerbaijan State News Agency, Azertak Chair of the Board. Professor Dr. Atun, Kıbrıs Science University, Dean of Engineering Faculty, and Professor of Structural Engineering and International Relationships. Thank you very much for coming. Dear Serdar Kalagöz, my lovely colleague from Anadolu Agency, the director of Anadolu Agency, and also Nazire Ali, Kyrgyzstan Madaniyet, the head editor of Til TV from Kyrgyzstan, and Yaldos Nasirli, Kazakhstan Kaziform International News Agency, chair of the board, is with us as well. Thank you very much for coming. Now, first, our elder, one name I would like to start with, Professor Dr. Ata Atun. Sir, thank you very much again. Of course, go ahead. Now, I have a reference question. Can be helpful for reframing. 30 years ago, the Turkic states have reached their independence, and it was a turning point for the history. To think about the future, what do you think is the current situation for the Turkic world? Thank you very much, moderator. Turkic Council is very important for myself. First of all, before starting, Professor Dr. Fahrettin Altun, I would like to thank him for organizing this great meeting and everybody who has worked on its organizations. I am thanking you all from my heart because I'm very happy because for years we were separated. We have been living a genocide. Our nation hopefully will be living on forever. Turkey has been with us always, and they always helped us. I know what is unity. I know what it means to be a Turkic council. I have been in the 74 peace movement, and I definitely believe in the Turkic Council. Ladies and gentlemen, all the representatives of the member countries, welcome you all. Now today, of course, our strong ancestry want us to create a strong future. Of course, I would definitely like to thank the Directorate of Communication of the Republic of Turkey presidential. This might be a small step for the world, but I think it's a great step for everybody, for all of us all. I also would like to TRT for creating visual and the shows that show the genocide that we have been living through, and they show our feelings and ideas. A strong work to be able to make people hear our voice, to be able to create the future. First, we have to know about the history, and we have to take a look at what is being happening, and it will be a guide for us. French people has created a francophone council in their also Italians has created a Roma club, and British has the Commonwealth, but these systems have set these things up and they try to continue, but these organizations are set up with colonized areas. In the world, the Turkish world has started to move as one because we have a common history, and I think the Turkish world is very available for combining and collaboration. The victory of Azerbaijan has showed us that we have collaboration and power in collaboration. What Armenians have done has been shown to the world, and now we need to have a strategy for future. First of all, with justice at the center, we have to create a new mindset and we have to create a roadmap. The historical friendship of the Turkic world should be the basis of this. We have to create a healthy consciousness zone. Our common civilization and our common history should be shared with the world, and it should be made known. The Western world has divisive and pressurized applications. We have to have a political and cultural and economic collaboration to be able to stay free. We have to collaborate in our industries, in our energy systems, and our economy. Technology, science, sociology, art, economy, military power has to have collaboration. We have seen this in Karabakh. With the question where the world is going towards, we have to follow what is going on, and we have to increase our effect all around the world. It is not just about taking precautions. We have to have a roadmap and we have to take action. We have to start the change and transformation and make it sustainable is a requirement for the future. And this will be creating the best transformation for as a solution for the Turkish world, to develop the Turkish world. Future is the change that we are going to experience. The future that we are going to build together is about seeing where we can go together. We have to do our research to create a transformation and decide on strategies that we have to have. The information, media, and technology skills are the most important skills we have to have for the future. The quickest transformation is happening on information, media, and technology areas, and we have to be able to transform at the speed of the innovation in these skill needed skills. If we do not keep up, we will be left behind. Turkish world is very wide and cosmopolitan. From Uyghur Gagaguz to doesn't look like people, Turkish people from Cyprus. Even though we have the same language families, the mutual intelligibility between them doesn't exist for all of it, or maybe it's weak. There are differences. These states, these republics, and ethnic groups can create a whole which we call Turkic world. So starting with Turkey, the geography that Turks are living are very strategically important. Also, one of the most important geographical features of Turkey is that it is farther away from oceans. And after Cold War, in the global powers, Middle East, Middle Asia is a very big area for geopolitical advantages. And after Soviet Union has been separated 30 years ago, all of the three Turkic states have been taken their statehood and independence. Turkish world's geographic lines or limits start from the Aegean Sea on the west and go to the northern ice sea on the north, and there are about 250 million people, Turkic people, living in this area. And in the Turkic world, Republic of Turkey, Turkic Republic of Northern Cyprus, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan are in this area, and there are these seven countries in this area, and Turkish worlds within Turkish world, these seven countries make up about 43% of the area. The rest of the area, that is the 57% of the area, is in other states in Russian Federation, Ukraine, Moldova, Georgia, China have these lands, and these Turks are living through and trying to be independent. In addition to that, there are about 50 million Turkic population in Iran, Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, and those areas. In addition to that, in Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Libya, Saudi Arabistan, Germany, France, Holland, Belgium, Australia, all these countries have Turkish populations, and some of them are citizens of these countries. As a lot of our speakers also said, the Turkic world unity idea has roots back in 18th century. 140 years ago, the Tercümen Gazette tried to show the possibilities in this system. What was the idea was somebody from Kashgar and Istanbul could read the same newspaper. The local languages, cultures, and traditions should be combined, and that should be a healthy start. As what somebody said yesterday, we look a lot like together. We have common history, literature, culture. We need a common language to be able to communicate with all of us. This should be Istanbul Turkish. And Turkish should be taught in our middle schools, high schools, and universities and primary schools. This common language will be the base of the Turkic world. Our big history and strong future are our biggest strategic values. The history and geography has given us two options. Either we have to combine and be one of the players in the global world, or keeping being conservative and being a country of limited power in the global arena. Thank you for listening to me with patience, and I would wish you all a happy days, and thank you for to my teacher as well. I'm great you all exist. I'm very glad that Turkey exists. Thank you very much, sir. You had a great speech. It was very understandable and talking about the situation we are in very clearly. Thank you very much. Now the idea of this forum has been started by Directorate of Communication, and I was one of the first people that was contacted, and we had a lot of young friends that work in the Directorate of Communication, and they called me and they said to me that we are planning something like this, and our hope is finding something concrete and solid from this. And I said that we should call the we are building the future. Actually, they are the ones who are going to build the future, and we should see their wants and needs and requirements. Maybe they can be also part of the building of the future. And all the sessions we had in the morning, we got together with youth from all around the Turkic world, and we talked about a lot of projects and suggestions, and we created an agenda. Ata Altun has given us a framework for the Turkish world. They also given an example for these solutions for us, and we are constantly talking about a story of victory for our solutions, as we have had, as we were all very sad about Karadağ war, and in addition to all of our efforts, unfortunately we were not enough for communicating with the world. This is not, the Karadağ war was not just about the field, it was also about communication. We came together, and with our youth that are speaking English or French or other languages, with our efforts, with all the countries from Turkic world's efforts, we created a victory. And of course, one of the architects of this project was the General Directorate from TRT. Serdar Karagöz was one of the architectures of that. Because this is a recent event and it's motivating us, can you talk about how Karabakh example gives us some hope for our future, and also we would be inspired from our success story? Go ahead, sir. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed. This forum that has been organized by the Communication Directorate, this is hopefully going to be beneficial for the Turkish media and all the participants we have. And these kinds of meetings allow us to catch the common feeling and coming ideals. So that's why we are finding these meetings very valuable. Since the 18th century, the Turks are trying to unite. Sometimes our pain brings us together, sometimes our victories bring us together, but it is always common struggles. In Karabakh, we have given it a given we were giving a facing a struggle altogether, and Ismail Aspralı also said that unity in language, unity in ideals, unity in world. As about 100 years ago, Ismail Gasparalı said this, and we have seen this in Karabakh as unity in ideal and unity in work. Of course, we have been trying to unite in language as much as possible, but if we were to take a look at it entirely, Karabakh is one of the biggest victories for the Turkic world. In 1974, of course, Cyprus had a victory like that as well, and our second victory is in Karabakh. We didn't just get land, but I think Karabakh is a founding victory for the founding of this union. With the victory of Karabakh, our institutions, our media, our news agencies, our universities, our academics, all together, they have felt the pleasure of working together and collaborating, and this will open new doors. We shouldn't let Karabakh be forgotten. Of course, I will talk about how our media worked during the process of Karabakh, but the importance of Karabakh is not just military. It connected us all, and it is, as I said, a founding victory. It has lasted for 44 days, the Karabakh struggle, but when you take a look at the process in the global hegemony, did not agree with Azerbaijan's rights in the Western media. Nobody wrote anything or analyzed anything about Azerbaijan's lands being conquered and occupied, and very small with our small media we constantly said these occupied areas, but the global media was so strong that it seemed like they made it look like actually Azerbaijan was occupying Armenia, and it made it look like Azerbaijan was not defending, but it was actually attacking. But during the process, our media and our political power and authority, when we have gotten stronger in global arena, these things do not just happen because you have a strong military. Our president Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Azerbaijan's president İlham Aliyev has shown a very serious will, and they motivated their militaries and institutions and academics, and they started this process. And following that, we were able to use the effect of the Turkic world, and we found ourselves in a struggle against the global media. Now, first of all, the international channels of TRT, from English to Arabic to French, the publications of the Anatolia Agency has started to talk about the Armenian attack. Of course, so we created a basis that there has to be a response to that attack, and we had a lot of news in the agents, and we shared it internationally. Armenia is attacking, and with that, the Azerbaijan side was able to defend their righteous cause, and they were allowing their military to move, because at that point the world has agreed to the Armenian aggression. And I think we also have to reference to our ministries as well. Foreign press has come here and they have followed it on Azerbaijan land. TRT World also was on land on field in Azerbaijan for the entirety of 44 days. They have made thousands of news, and you should see that the biggest diaspora population in the world is in Armenia, and this Armenian diaspora economically is one of the most powerful diaspora. It is centered in California, and it is actually at the center of international hegemony. And another center they have is in France. And they started to create a resistance against this, but our righteous cause was planned so well and so strategically. We told our cause to the world, and the press came and saw what was happening, and they saw that Armenia was attacking here. And they seen the cruelty the Armenia has made, and when they see, after 44 days, when the victory was won, even though they had a very strong Armenian lobby, that's what I'm talking about. Victory is not just won on the field. Communication has to be won as well. So this one has given us an idea. We need stronger media, more strategical media. As Fahrettin Altun also said, when we use media, he has shown us what kind of results we can have. We have also seen it on the Jamal Khashoggi case, and this is another second point about it. There might be people not knowing about it, but the Republic of Turkey has two different areas that they have been successful about for the media strategy, because I continue my works on academy as well. The first one is Jamal Khashoggi case. Turkey has been a world-renowned exemplary. We have lost a colleague. This was very hurtful. And the second victory was the Karabakh situation. The communication strategies for these both modeling, these are all very important cases. Yes, definitely. I'm going to say it in English, but these are case studies called case studies in academy, and these subjects are very much subjects of research, both for the victory of Karabakh and for the story of Jamal Khashoggi. Shows us communication is very, very important. We are not talking about an easy thing. For years, Hollywood has made hundreds of movies. They They used music to have propaganda. Armenia, before everything else, they victimize themselves. Armenia uses this victimization extremely well, and these strategies they have hides their aggression until Karabakh. As communicators and professionals in communication, we have to take this Karabakh victory at the center, and we should take a look at what else can we do. While we are fighting against disinformation, while we are fighting for righteousness, these are great examples of communication, great communications in Karabakh and for Cemal Kaşıkçı. Can I keep talking after? I think I'm going to talk again later, but I think the Turkish world has gained a great victory with Karabakh, and I think in the future months and years, it will be the source of better and bigger victories. Thank you very much, Serdar Karagöz. Definitely, as you also the victory that has been achieved in the area of communication is a great example, and it's also destroyed a complex wall because we were always thinking that we cannot handle that. They have Armenian lobbies, and it's very hard to fight with those power. Of course, with first of all at Karabakh and also Cemal Kaşıkçı case, we have achieved an extraordinary victory. Having a strategy and truly explaining what is happening has been a great example for the Turkic world as well, because the Turkic world, when they come together on subjects about this, for example, I have an Uzbek friend, and I was talking to him. When somebody attacks Uzbekistan, who are they going to be with? They're going to find Turkey with them. They're going to find Azerbaijan with their institutions. They will find Azertak, an Anatolian agency. I don't want to complicate the context, but to be having to have a point of view from Azerbaijan as well. Respectful Aslan Aslanov is going to talk about from Azerbaijan State News Agency, Astartak, with solid examples from your eyes and mouth. We would like to see what has been happening. Thank you very much, valued forum participants, Amphi and Serdar Karagöz. After the war of 44 days, Anatolian agency has helped us a lot, and we were very thankful for that. All Turkish media and Azeri media have been working shoulder to shoulder for this victory, and this is an example for the entire world, and hopefully this is going to be showing the future power of the Turkic world. And what we understand is this road that we are on is the right path. I also would like to show my greatest gratitude to Turkish institutions and Turkish media. Having all the Turkic media gathering together is very important in this forum. They also working on very valuable projects today, and for the collaboration and union of Turkic countries, hopefully this is going to be beneficial for our collaborations. We have the common history, common civilization, common language, and common religion, and these common values are very important for us to be able to strengthen our place in the world order. And this is very important for us. The importance of the Turkic Council for Azerbaijan is very important for us, and we realize that a modern Turkic world's people are transitioning into one of the strongest forces of the new world. For the future of Turkic world, this is showing very great promise. In the future, our states will be a lot more collaborative, hopefully, and in today, Turkey, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan are states that are fighting global enemies together, and combining this power is extremely important for our future. In Turkey, in today in the world, the Turkophobia and Islamophobia is rampant, and we should answer these threats. We should show the information and explain ourselves. Nobody will be able to continue their aggression. Also, Karabakh is a great example for this as well. When Azerbaijan started the Karabakh War, our brother country, the president of Turkey, and the union of Azerbaijan and Turkey, the collaboration of Azerbaijan and Turkey is the most important thing, and it shows again that the collaboration of Turkey and Azerbaijan can stand up strong to anything on the world and can win against anything. If we collaborate between the entire Turkic world, and if we can realize this collaboration and unity among us all, the Turkic world will actually achieve the Turkish century in this century, and this can be realized with our collaboration. Dear friends, the brotherhood between Azerbaijan and Turkey is the most beautiful model for all of us. Before coming to Istanbul, in Prague in 2014, I remember an event. Turkey was not represented in that area, and Ilham Veliyev Keselek, the president of Azerbaijan, has answered and said that Turkey's representatives might not be here, but I am here. In anywhere that Azerbaijan isn't represented, Turkey will take a defend for Azerbaijan as well. If there isn't Turkish representatives, there are Azerbaijan representatives. God willed us this collaboration, and we should know the value of that. This is not by chance that I was talking about an event that happened 7 years ago, because this is the best example for our collaborative future. This is something that we should learn from, and we should replicate, and this shows that we have souls our souls are beating together. And this forum creates a great basis for our communication and collaboration and unity. And I am sorry I couldn't understand what the speaker said in Azeri. Azerbaijan media is getting support from Turkish media, and Turkish media is getting support from Azerbaijan media for this disinformation war, and they show the correct path for each other. And during the war, the support that Turkish media, our brother Turkish media, shows that we are protecting each other, and this has a great role for our collaboration. Very valuable for Professor Dr. Fahrettin Altın as well, and very valuable Hacıev also told, and they are saying that our way is the right way, and our real goal is decided, and this is the way that the Turkic world should choose, and we should help each other and support each other. For our goals, we have to realize our global experience, and creating media platforms is very important for us as well. As our touch is for Azerbaijan, and all the Turkic countries have state agencies, and they work together, and a very beautiful collaboration between these organizations. I remember that in '92, the Anatolian Agency in Turkey given us the support in every way, and we created this union. We thought about these days, and that's why we created this collaboration, so that the Turkish language countries can come together today. And of course there were ups and downs throughout the way, but what I know is, for the Turkish mentality, we have to create a unity, and it is one of the most important points. I am very grateful for Serdar Karagöz. I would like to thank him in front of you, because we talked to him days after the incidents, and he has given us the most important value to us, and they also worked very hard to create and continue and sustain this union. And his colleagues are also working with all the Turkic countries and guiding us, and hopefully in the near future we will also show you more concrete works about this. Can we quickly, maybe we can continue a bit quickly in the second part? All right. There isn't much left. As you know, these state organizations are the sources of correct news for these countries, and our purpose is creating the Turkish language news organization, and what we want is the Turkish news agency should be working all around the world, and we want to have this agency to take place among the best global news agencies. As Sardar Gürgöz and us have said, we want the democracy to be achieved in the first place, but with our own efforts in the coming months, our with Professor Dr. Ata Altun and having this meeting for news agencies of the Turkic countries. We want to have an organization that answers the global community for the Turkic Council. Thank you very much. You didn't waste any time. That was very important for all of us. We are happy for it, especially for the Karabakh victory. The experiences you had there, we are excited to see your concrete experiences, and we can maybe talk for hours about that. And this great victory is, of course, the victory of the Azerbaijan people, but also it is a victory for the Turkic world. You have ended the occupation of Karabakh, and this is a milestone for the salvation of the Turkish world. We are gonna have a second session. I want about 2 minutes for closing speeches. I would like to go to Kyrgyzstan now, because in the recent years they had a lot of political movements, and the way the Turkic world takes a look at their role for the common Turkic organization and building of the common Turkic systems. Now, I would like to give the floor to Ali Kızın. Of course, Ms. Nazira, you can also share your ideas from Kyrgyzstan. The communication problems and projects and suggestions and a projection maybe for the future, and your ideas about what should be done. And we are giving you the floor now. Thank you very much, my brothers and sisters. I would like to greet you all. We have joined this event with great pleasure, and of course we had the chance to get together again during the pandemic, and I would like to thank everybody who has worked to organize this meeting. Thank you very much. And pandemic has created big changes for our lives, and we have realized the value of what we didn't know. We learned that we missed the importance of being face to face and physical. And pandemic shows us that the world is not going to be continuing to use the same paradigms. pandemic didn't select between rich or poor. It has been an exam for everybody, and it also showed the true relationships between countries, and it showed that an unexpected situation may arise at any point, and it showed which countries will be protecting which ones and helping which ones, and that's what the pandemic showed us. In the Middle Asia, the countries that have been independent, these countries have gained a lot of support from the Turkish Republic, and also enriching the relationships. It has showed us how important Turkey is, and also for Ankara, we've seen that independent countries should have relations between them, and we realize that the relationship between the Turkey countries should improve their relationships and collaboration. Throughout the history, our relations and ancestry and common language is documented, and no declaration can be had to combine these countries, combine any countries in such a way. We have a common history and mental collaboration. While we are talking about the future of the Turkic world, we should talk about securing our future and achieving our future. We shouldn't just talk about it, we should take action now. There's a word in Kyrgyz Turkish, and it means to be solidary. As Annia Kovaneti has defined it, it means being sturdy and unbroken. And while we are talking about the Turkish world, we should talk about these countries that has not lost their past and civilization. We should think about the countries that have helped us. The civilization, the Turkish civilization and the Turkish world should be achieved, and it should be close to each other. If we do not take the responsibility to generate these organizations, are only going to be a wind going over the Bosphorus. Our meaning today shows that we have to speak the same language in the future. Our children should have a common language. We can also take a look at other country unions, organizations. For example, European Union has a lot of examples to be taken. Of course, to reach their situation today, the European Union has been through wars for centuries and conflict through centuries, but their union are actually based on economical gain. So for the half century, they have been sharing their policies, and they are developing constantly, and they are written in history as one of the most successful union, and they are using their politics to combine themselves and improve their economics and science. For taking common steps, they are improving their humanity and their science and research. If we want the future to be great for the Turkic Council, we have to focus on our civilization, and we should continue to work on ourselves. We cannot create a union that only focuses on political gain, and how can a civilization with common history and language, how can we not create a better union? We have the opportunity to create a better union because we have common language and history. The Middle Asia countries that have been freed after years after being controlled by Russia, of course they might be a bit I think the source of this system are based on our common history and culture. We definitely confirm the future of the Turkish world, and for the international relationship between these countries, both for trade and medicine and science, all of us are improving and collaborating between us currently. But our public, our citizens, if we were to talk about the security problem, and if we were to responsible for them, we can talk about a great future for the Turkic world. If we take a look at the structure of the Turkic world, so the Turkic languages, people, what does it mean? We have to find that and define that. What are the goals of the Turkic world? Who can be a member of the Turkic world? We have to answer specific answers to these questions. Also, where are the Turkic people and what are the geography that they are living in? We have to give concrete answers to these, because if we limit that to specific countries that we have here, this could be a mistake for our future and for the development of our union. We have to find clear answers for who we are and what we are. What is the Turkish civilization? What is the Turkish history? What is the Turkish politics or medicine or Turkish science? What is the Turkish sports? And of course, the women in Turkish world, who are they? After finding answers to these questions, we can set up and continue in a better way. If we were to continue further, of course, these steps are all requiring a lot of responsibility. We have to create the definition for the Turkish world, and we have to work with young people. We have to focus on science, and all the countries has to choose specific universities, and they should start collaborating between them. During that, we have to include young people, and we should definitely give the youth an active role to shape the Turkish world. For every step, we have to have and we have to create a feeling of Turkishness, Turkicness. Well, science is here. Our intellectual reserves are. We should not lose our smart people to Western countries. For example, in medicine, Turkey has great achievements about medicine. The Hacettepe University in Ankara can be a leading university for this collaboration, and we can create a association or an institution for this collaboration, and this institutions can create and help us be more successful. For example, during the pandemic, how many people that we lost for the sharing of the experience between countries. Having these common and collaborative institutions are very important. Finding the scientists and showing the scientists is very important. We are working on these, of course. So why am I focusing on medicine? Because the biggest potential, the most important potential is people. If you have people, you have power, and Turks are similar to each other, and our diseases and health issues are similar to each other. So we have given the initiative to Turkey this year, and this project is very important for ethnosport. So this research takes a look at the entire genome, and we can say that this is a very important thing. But if I were to talk about everything, this is going to take a lot of time. But if we were to talk about our civilization, but Cengiz Aytmat is our common hero for all of us, for the Turkish-speaking countries, and I hope these heroes will be our common points. And there are projects that have been created for this, and internet has removed all the borders. Internet is only the publication, but TV is the creator. So these are the great tools to create new information, and we have to be using these tools. And are there scientists in Turkic countries that create new science? Is there literature geniuses that create new literature? How can these Turkic countries that have more than 200 million people, how can we not have great minds among us? Of course they exist, but the Turkish world doesn't know about them, and the Turkish world doesn't show them, as they are not celebrated and supported. But in the future, when we have the Turkish world, when the countries are supporting each other and helping each other, the Turkish speaking publics will be shining like a star. Thank you very much for this very valuable speech, and now I am going to give this floor to the another speaker from Kazakhstan. But I would also like to say that while we are gathering this forum, I want to give an example, to show you what kind of a communication we have between Turkic world. And I said that I am in a very prestigious news organizations, one of the first news organizations of Turkey. But while we are creating news for the Turkic world, aside from the news that we have from the agencies, I can't really understand the day-to-day life dynamics in other countries. So, of course, we have a great history, we have a common history, and we are the children of the same geography, and we have great legacy, but there is also the day-to-day life, and I am not able to learn a lot from the daily life. I don't have a lot of information to be able to understand them. And my example was, for example, about Kazakhstan in the new media meeting. a bit before the pandemic, about there was a station worker in Kazakhstan. I think the railway station worker had a 10 years old computer at home, and he has taken a song, an old song, and he remixed that from Imambek. Roses is the song, and this song creates a great effect all around the world. Of course, there are big Hollywood movies with their manipulations and stuff, but that 20 years old kid is the most expensive DJ in the world. And Imambek, you know what he did? It showed the modern face of Kazakhstan. Of course, you have not spoken for years to the West because they have the cultural hegemony, and you would be nervous while speaking because you were never let to speak before. But he used a specific material and became a legend worldwide. But unfortunately, it has taken me a long time for me to learn about it, and he has won an Emmy. So we have done a news about him, and we had to publish it for 3 days because people were very interested in that. People wanted to know about Kazakhstan's daily life and what's going on over there. For example, Dimash Kudaiberger, he has an extremely wide range, and he's a young Kazakh man, and he's very famous in China. I am giving these examples. For example, we have not heard a lot about Dimash, but we feel like the center of the world is Turkey, but a lot of things are happening in the Turkic world. For example, in Kazakhstan, Nangashak island, there is a small truck that they found, for example, a historic, and we just showed it for 2 days, and it was the thing with the most ratings. And we try to find these things from social media or another random sources, and that's how we reach those people. And this is saddening me because I think while creating a common future in the Turkic world, we have to be knowing about our daily lives as well. We have to show Turkey, and we should have to know about other Turkey countries, not just from one perspective, but we have to have it from a lot of different perspectives. As I said, Kazakhstan, of course, talked about the responsibilities of the media and the importance of the common language, and they know all these things, and they are giving great effort to realize this in Kazakhstan. I have recently joined an Avrasya Forum event, and they had a Turkish World session, and I have given them these examples. As I said, Mr. Serdar is taking an initiative right now for having the Anadolu Agency more effective and connected to the Turkic countries. It is now concrete in Azerbaijan, but we would like to hear some from Kazakhstan. Dear Yaldız Nasirali from Kazakhstan, from Kazinform International News Agency, the chair of the board is going to talk about it now. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Talking last in a program is not easy. All the speakers before us has shared very valuable and beautiful things, and I would also like to say that I'm going to agree with all of them, and because I agree with everything that's been said, I would try to not waste your time, and I would try to be a bit quick as well. And first of all, I would like to thank Fahrettin Altun for organizing this forum. I'm very happy to be included in here. We are in the 30th anniversary of our republic, and we are very happy and we feel lucky because we have done a lot in 30 years. And in the countries, they have all created their own roadmaps and created their own national ideas, and they declared them. And now that what we are seeing is, when we talk about information, and our first news agency is the one I am heading right now, and they have always been an agency that thinks about international standards, and thanks to other information sources, we work as a professional, and we give international news as well, and we try to continue giving news in multiple languages. We have constantly been talking about collaboration, and we have been talking about we will be stronger if we are together. And yes, this is definitely true, as we all follow closely our brothers from Azerbaijan. Seeing their victory has made us extremely happy, and what we realized is we have lived through their victory and we share their happiness. And what I say is, today for the Turkish world, we have the common agency for the Turkish world is going to be very beneficial for all of us. And as other speakers also said, this is time now. It is time to achieve this now. We have to have an agency that is going to help all of our Turkic countries and be respectable in the international standards case. And we have an idea for that. We are going to achieve this quickly, and we have to take decisions rapidly. We are working with international standards and in the international arena, global arena, and from creating the knowledge that we are going through, we also help the neighbor countries in knowledge, and we need their information and ideas, and we know that they are in such a social structure that we can help each other. Internationally, for other European countries or other unions, for example, if we are trying to do something, when we collaborate on these things, we will see how effective it is, and we will be able to show how strong we are about that subject. We have to have the information basis for that. Also for the military information and sharing of military technology, and military journalism also exists as well, and we care a lot about these things as well. We also have to show we have seen the importance of military journalism in Karabakh as well, and our photographers and news anchors and journalists has to learn from each other, and we have to collaborate to improve our skills together. We have a lot to share information and experiences and improve one another, but what we have to realize is we should not let people play with the lives of our citizens. We have to come together to protect each other, and I believe collaboration is the most powerful tool. What we have learned uh, from being independent is that we can only move forward if we collaborate together. Thank you very much. We would like to thank you. This is definitely a great speech. We don't have a lot of time. Before having the final tours, I'm of course going to talk with Bulgari. Then we will have 2 minutes of closing speeches because we are going over our time a lot. And what I can say is, as Mr. Asir also said, I have also loved to talk about the defense and military journalism because Turkey has a lot of great developments on the defense industry, and in journalism of course exists in that area as well. This is not just about war journalism, and we have great people coming up, great youngsters, professionals coming up for that subject as well, and hopefully there are a lot of young people following these developments, and I think collaborating on that point is going to be very beneficial as well. Thank you very much. I would like to thank them all. Now finally, I would like to give a question to Bulgar Ali from Baku State University. Of course, we have gathered here and we know how important communication is, and talking about our rights and our righteous cases is very important. And while we are explaining ourselves, we have seen how we should explain ourselves at the example of Karabakh, and we were happy and we hugged each other. But what are we going to do next? We have young communication professionals that are going to continue after us. I have seen a lot of communication faculties in Kyrgyzstan, and or we have common universities in, for example, in Kyrgyzstan this is Maras, and I'm also especially saying for Kyrgyzstan, they also have a great cinema department, and they are joining our competitions every year and they are winning. They have great stories, they have great documentaries, they have great cinematographic eye in there. I would like to share with you all that because maybe you might not all know about them, because there are very valuable works being done in that area, and going around in that state is very valuable, definitely. But the streets have great history as well. You know, they changed the name and they become Turkistan right now, and we have a direct flight from Turkistan. We used to go over from China. We had to do that. We can go over that area and we can travel there now. And we move on to Kızılordu to listen about the Dede Korkut. There are so many stories, and while I was talking to the youth, I was saying that there are so many stories in Karakalpakistan. In Mukus, they have the second biggest modern art museum in that area, and you have to go over that. If you travel that area, you will be learning that. Youths are teaching us these things now. Young communicators, their relationship with the Turkic world, their understanding, their attention, interest. We would like to learn about these things from Ulgar Aliyev. Thank you very much. I am a curious person, but I am talking last, so alright. Archimed, you know that they have an explanation. I moved the world from its place, and building of technology and building of media today is a basis for us. In that sense, we have to know that we don't have to discuss this. Hopefully, this will become a great power. Now, the strongest areas in the world need media because they need to use them because the wars are made with media now. International companies need media to reach new markets for this amazing competition that they are going through. At the end of 20th century and at the start of 21st century, the globalization affected journalism as well. The principles that have been in place in the international mass communication systems have been changing. New methods and new management of media is changing the way the mass communication devices are used. The systems are changing and the dynamic multimedia is taking over. New world journalism is very famous, and there are a lot of things that we have to protect about our nations,
and making them in every places and in the Turkish world media, and also for us the academicians there are new duties, and for the contemporary communication tools having the joint communication network, and also in changing the structure, and with the positive changes in our life, with the negative aspect, the global network is being created. For example, politics is sharing on the news and knowledge, and therefore steering the people. They have big opportunities, and it's turning to knowledge fight, and it become sharper and become more natural. By this way, the news ecology problems, by this way, in the bigger threat to the community is that the communication tools and news to be used on purpose, and the quality and direction of the communication is being turned on purpose, and by this way information is a real power. Whoever has the information, he can rule the world. As you know, Daniel Kass and Dennis McDale, the media has five main function: information, creating awareness, and today we also include this information added into this, which is also contactless fight. It has great importance, and its role in this fight is with the development of the technology. There is the new, the right one is turning victory to lose or lose to victory, and the development in the science technology can change it. And in the current world politics, the effects its countries to use the current information systems or manage it. It's not only military, but also it makes the external impact of the community, and also change of the and loss of the management system of the country, the foreign technologies power, and in the between this communication contact, by losing it and going into this system by this formation, There are concrete examples. We see it. And these countries, as a matter of fact, the foreign powers, in order to restore the internal discipline, they intervene. Okay, so how we can fight against? In many levels, there is the double standard, and to work only in the and there is the advantages of it. The network and communication of sharing, and also Turkish nation to come together and their political and economic information, and to the international community giving information, and from abroad the an international arena making the Turkish identity. So between Turkey and Azerbaijan, the joint media platform is very important, and two country media to work together with this platform, and Turkey-Azerbaijan relations, and by making it more powerful and making a strategical media partnership under scope of it, there is the healthy media relations. So the sources are being sharing, and the official institutions of both countries, Turkey and Azerbaijan joint media platform for working together, they provide great opportunities. In the 44 days of war we have seen this. So in the short future, the Middle East, Central Asia countries to attend. And the more important thing is regarding the media training and establishing joint media training, and it is important, especially it helps us to sign joint, if you allow me, and one of them is the education faculties, and then there is the joint Turkish Media Academy, and it will help us to learn from each other. Turkish Media Academy in the next step, and also media education is a great strategy, and together we can create a media training system, so we can have an important mission for that. And second, offer the education curriculum to be established, and international journalism over that occupation, an education program to be set, and it can be baccalaureate or before master, and or distinguished academicians. What we need most is the field, is the international journalism. My baccalaureate and master is international journalism. I have an experience in Azerbaijan. So in Turkey, in the Anadolu University, Anadolu University is trying to do this, and Francolingua is the internet language English, and this Karabakh issue, especially the Azerbaijan youth in Azerbaijan, they had a great campaign, and especially our brothers and sisters studying international journalism supported a lot to our communication strategy, and by this way, regarding this occupation, actually, it's the best time for our Middle Central Asia, Turkic countries, brothers and sisters, and actually, so we had a positive answer from there. From a university, we will talk, and when we add them to this program, and next step, hopefully Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan can be there. Both it will be good for the diploma and also international journalism occupation. There is a well prepared tomorrow both for Azerbaijan and Turkey and the Middle Asia Turkish Republic. Actually, it's the media area. It will provide a huge contribution. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Now Mr. Ömer Faruk says we will have a I like talking a lot, but the Central Asia I said I promised for my distinguished brothers and colleague in the second tour. Okay, if you let us do, when we only a few sentences closure.
Şöyle bir şey de söylemek isterim bu arada. Sabahleyin 6 farklı koza grup diyeyim bir araya geldik. Ben yeni medya, işte kültür, sanat, uluslararası ilişkiler, medya falan.
In the morning, we were in 6 workshop group in new media. There are a lot of recommendations. They see the problems. 2 minutes, please. Very important. As it's not within the format, if you want, we can do it like that. We have very limited time. Two minutes, very shortly. Just your recommendations. Thank you. Really, this is very important, and 2 minutes is not that important because maybe 1 year later we will come together only. So shortly from past and today. In 2008, me and my wife from the kitchen of our in the left but top the Turkic language talking countries membership we met in Yalova, and there I met with Hüseyin Altınalan in the right bottom. It was very important. Now Republic of Turkey, Baku Embassy press member, and in 2009 meeting there were Çuvaş and Yakut and Uyghur and Turkmens in Iraq, in Syria, from Bulgaria, from Western Thrace and from Germany and UK. There were people. We were expanded, and the second meeting was in 2009. We take a decision, and I was in the board. Why is Turkic language speaking countries? At that time, the Western countries, we should be saved of it, and then in our own countries we can tell to each other. I asked the Excellency President of Turkish Republic and Culture and Information Directorate. This form was made. It was perfect, and in this form, from Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, we met with all our colleagues, and we started giving correct information without censor. And while I have one pair of eyes and whole world, I have developed what happened in Turkey. Turkey is our homeland. First TRT. We have very limited time. I will finish it. What does the council means? Please, very shortly, thank you. Or TRT, words, Arab, Abbas, regarding Cyprus, Middle Eastern. They call me and get the correct information the same way Anatolian agency. They connected with us and we started giving the right information. This biggest feature of Turkic Council should be this. Thank you so much.
Şimdi Serdar Bey, sizin temenni ve önerilerinizi alalım.
Mr. Sardar, let's get up. Take yours. As long as we can make these unions corporate, at the moment 2008, the Union of Agencies of Turkic Countries is a union, but is Anatolian agency, we want to make it more. So of 2022, in the first quarter, Azerbaijan actually is the periodical president, and we want to bring together all our members coming together, and like our Kazakhstan brother mentioned, we want to make a joint pool of news. If our institutions are strong, we give strong message. Now I see this meeting in Antalya as an opportunity, not only the agencies of our countries, the journalists, academicians, and politicians, we will invite them, and there we will have the biggest news tool of the Turkish world, and I would like to give this. It's really a blessing. We wish it to be successful, and the joint new pool of the Turkish world. We are very happy, and from Aslan Aslanoğlu, please, we can get your also opinions and remarks. This media forum, it's a really good thing. I'm an experienced journalist. It is really a correct start. And today I've seen that in various issues, and regarding the real way they say nice things, maybe in the future it will go into a Turkish platform. So my offer is that these kind of media forums in the concrete dates with new issues, and it should be a great form, and this form should bring new, and the Turkic world is, we need to improve it for future. These media forum, there are many people think about it. So whoever thinks this, I applaud. As Aslan Aslanoğlu, who thinks he's a very smart guy. And this media forum, we really thank them. because we talked from time to time about the problems, and then we just leave. What you say concrete. There is this concrete thing with Karabakh victory in communication. And secondly, something concrete with the initiative of Mr. Serdar, Turkic World International Agency. It won't be, we will see it now from Kyrgyzstan. Mrs. Nazire, very shortly, your recommendations very shortly, please. Today the wars are not with the tanks but with the latest geopolitical situation in Middle Asia and in Afghanistan nowadays. Really, we need to improve our joint media platform, and we need to act together in all kinds of conflicts. So when there is an attack in our country, how the Turkic world is reacting, we cannot say anything about it. So in the Middle Asia, we can say we are in a critical position between Azerbaijan and Turkey. Therefore, in the media field, it's to Turkic world, to all the Turkic world, we should be in a position, and I have a short idea of this media forum, the young journalists. For them, there should be a joint camp. These are concrete offers, so we pay attention to them. And Kazakhstan now. We have 2 guests left. The ones who attend to this forum yesterday and today, important topics, and you have given nice examples from Kazakhstan like Dimash or yes, these are under a collaboration, very important characters. Maybe we didn't have experience, but the momentarily and valuable we are always saying youth we say, because we will carry the real success photos. They are the real in the 21st century. We are protecting our core values. We should pay attention more to the youth, and we should tell these to the youth better, and we should have a media sector. This is an additional work. I would like to thank Turkish Council Media Forum. I believe it's very important forum, and hopefully in the panels, you said I was in media panel, and it was important things you were saying, and I believe that hopefully this process will start, and Thank you. What is being spoken here will not stay here. Our young and dynamic managers will continue it. There is seriously a concrete things to be done, and in the discussion in our own room, we will make an application, a Turkic word application. Thank you so much. It's good that you are here. We send our greetings to Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, and to Turkestan, to Uzbekistan, to Kyrgyzstan, where the beautiful mountains, and our Cyprus also. Thank you so much. It's good